In the early 1990s, as spring came to San Antonio, children at several elementary schools began telling the same story. They said an old man with tattered clothes and a crooked smile would stand near the fences, playing a flute. Teachers and parents brushed it off. They said it was just imagination, maybe a homeless man, maybe just a musician passing by. But then children started disappearing, one in March, another in April, a third just days before May. Each time, no witnesses, no signs of struggle, only eerie rumors. Some students whispered that they had heard flute music the day their classmate went missing, soft, faint, almost like it was calling to them. Police launched full investigations, search dogs, helicopters, Amber Alerts, but no one ever found the missing kids. And the so-called flute man, if he was even real, vanished with them. In the following years, the story became urban legend. Most adults moved on, but every spring, kids would still claim they heard it. The same lonely flute tune drifting through the air near old playgrounds and abandoned lots. One teacher years later admitted she'd once heard it too. One chilly March afternoon, while closing up the school, a soft, reedy melody floated by the windows. When she looked outside, no one was there. The haunting detail. Each disappearance happened asterisk. On days when the temperature dropped suddenly asterisk. A cold snap in the middle of the warm Texas spring, almost as if he traveled with the cold. Local claim if you go to certain forgotten playgrounds on a chilly spring night, you might hear it too, a sad, slow flute, calling out, waiting. And if you hear it, the stories say, do not follow the sound, no matter how soft, no matter how sweet, because once you do, you might never come back. Today, those abandoned playgrounds still sit empty. Swings move in the wind, slides rust, and every once in a while, if you listen very, very carefully, you might hear it. The flute man, playing his endless, lonely song, still searching for someone to follow. Spring 2013. Geraldine Largay, a 66-year-old experienced hiker, set off alone on the Appalachian Trail. She was prepared. She had a map, supplies, and a working phone to text her family updates. One morning, she sent a simple message. In good spirits, headed north. That was the last anyone ever heard from her. When Geraldine didn't check in as planned, search teams were deployed. Helicopters, dogs, and volunteers combed the trail for miles, yet not a single clue. It was as if she had vanished into the earth. Weeks passed. Then months. The trail, alive with spring growth, buried any trace of her. 2 years later, in a remote part of the woods far off the main trail, a surveyor stumbled across a faded tent. Inside was a tragic discovery. Geraldine's remains, neatly packed belongings, and her journal. In her final entries, she described surviving for weeks after getting lost. She rationed her food, tried to send texts for help. Her phone never connected. Every day, she wrote to her loved ones, messages full of love, fear, and finally, acceptance. The most horrifying detail? Searchers had come within 100 yards of her camp multiple times. She could hear them. She wrote about it, but they never saw her hidden under the thick canopy. Alone, day after day, as the spring rains fell and the forest thickened, Geraldine slowly faded away. When they found her, her backpack was still organized. Her tent was zipped, a last desperate effort to survive unseen in a living, breathing green labyrinth. Asterisk. When you find my body, please call my husband and daughter and let them know I am at peace. Even now, hikers say, if you go deep enough into the Maine woods in spring, you can sometimes hear the faint, desperate cries of someone calling for help from somewhere just beyond the trees. Some searchers never return to the same sections of forest again. The guilt of being so close and missing her still haunts them to this day. And somewhere, hidden by time and nature, the Appalachian Trail keeps its secrets. waiting.